All right, it's going live. Going live. Okay, check one. Sound. Oh, not this one. Playback. Playback. Speakers. Recording. Check. Check. One, two. Okay. Cool. Microphone from the camera. Okay, we'll make it to double. Oh no. The other this one. Status develops. Okay, cool. Two. Check one. I cannot see. Wait. So there you go. Okay, shall we start now? So all the viewers are now watching you guys on YouTube. Some of them are my friends. Some other some are also your friends. Right? So don't bother. It's okay, no problem. And as we discussed yesterday, there were the technical things you might probably see when you're working. Now, more additional on, especially our discussion is about technical drawing here. Like, like. So, assembly, the opposite of assembly is this somewhere. When you say removal, the opposite is install, okay, or installation. If you happen to use the application of 360 camera selfie on your Android, you must figure this. Contour. Contour is the edging, right? The edging. This is the inside. So we're talking about a face. It has the contour feature menu on the application on your Android, the 360 camera. It has the feature called contour. So this is the inside of the face. The contour is the edges, the strong, hard edges on your face will be the contour. What about the contour when you're doing technical drawing? Is here the edges, here the contour. The contour is the edges. So the contour of this desk is this edge here. Here the contour, the edge. So if you turn on the contour feature, you can see exactly the sharpness of the edge, the contrast of the edge, the sharpness. So very, very sharp. Yeah. But when you turn off, it's the same like you're using blur feature. Yeah, blur. So there's no sharp difference between here and here. You can see here's like a sharp line, right? Here's my instrument. This is the country. Detail drawing. The detail drawing, it has the scale, the lengths. Okay, you're drawing something here like this. Yeah, it has the length, it has the width, it has the height. So that's detail drawing. Here also detail drawing, it has the inside compartment of one block of engine, one block of pump, for example, the insides are the details. So how to see the inside? Usually in technical drawing, it uses the cross section. So you know the cross section, this one. Can you see the inside of the remote control? No, you cannot. So how to see the inside of the remote control? In technical, there's a term of cross section, means that it's being cut off in half. Cut. Not a real cut, but this is the imaginary cut. So what happened when you do the cross section, you do the imaginary cuts. So it seems like you're splitting this into two parts, one over here and the other one's over there. So it's being open. You can see the inside, right? So that's a cross section. Cross section is you make an imaginary line, and then it's being cut off into half, so you can see what's inside. Or in that Indonesia, it says dipotong penentang. Right? Of course, detailed assembly is all information about the part. Okay, talking about this phone, Apple. Okay. What parts can you find in this Android phone? What parts inside it? Yeah, what are the small parts inside the phone? It has the LCD, and then what else? Yeah, the inside. It has a PCB board inside, right? How do you call it? PCB board? PCB board. Uh-huh. The battery is inside there. It has the IC, integrated circuit. Right? It has magnets inside. It has the gold conductor. Uh-huh. So usually handphones are using gold conductors, very small gold conductor. And what else can you find inside? All right, processor. It's a small. I think RAM is a small IC, right? I don't know. So you can imagine if you have to put them all together, that is called assembly. So you take the PCB board and then you use the solder and then you're soldering all these resistors. No, there's no resistors inside the small diode, and then the IC, and then plates, the anti-heating plates, are the one that dampen the inside, so you cannot feel really hot because you're using the battery. Usually, it's easy to get hot because you're using the battery. When we're charging this, it's also hot. And we're using this for making some phone calls or video calls. The effect is the device is going to be hot. Why? It has the power. So to damp the heat or the temperature, to reduce the temperature, you can see inside here it has the plate, the anti-heater, something like that. You call that an anti-heater. So it's trying to reduce the heat inside of the plate. I think it's the aluminum, aluminum plates. So you can imagine if you're assembling this, it means you put all these PCBs, ICs, plate, gold conductor into here. And then the last one is you put in the casing, yeah, the front casing, the LCD casing, and finally the wobber to stick the phones on places. Right? So we become one. And then when you're talking about the units, you need when you talk about the assembly, engine assembly, means that you have to put all the engine parts. What are the engine parts?
Piston,
Okay. What else?
engine block,
What else?
filter,
Okay. What else?
crankshaft,
What else?
camshaft,
What else?
uh,
ATMs,
injection,
also
filter, full injection pump,
Fuel injection. Okay. Pump, valve, pinion, and then bolts,
bolts, bearings,
screws,
screw,
bearing,
gasket,
shield, gasket,
shield,
shields, jackets. Okay. And then you assemble all of them. Can you do that? No, maybe you cannot. Later, they will be your responsibilities. Ari, remind me, what can you do and what you cannot do when you're doing OJT? What you can do and what you cannot do, especially when you're at workshop. What can you do and what you cannot do?
Maybe I maybe I can help
You can help
for
mechanics.
because I don't have experience.
Yeah. And then what can't you do? What you cannot do?
um, Something like repair or maintain
You cannot start up the engine.
this.
Wrong.
I
You
guess
cannot.
that.
Okay. What then? What you cannot do?
maybe I uh, analysis fuel system,
You can analyze, but
analysis
what about the high torque? Can you use the high torque? You cannot use high torque. Never. You can touch, but you cannot operate unless there will be a senior watching you, and then you need to be watched when you're using high torque. What else you cannot do?
working alone,
Working alone, yeah, working alone. So it should be supervised by either supervisors or your buddy mentor. What else we cannot do?
Working without PP.
Of course, of course you cannot. But I mean, you're in the position where you complete PPE, and then what exactly that you cannot do because you're not competent yet. You're not competent of using high torque, not yet. But when you're being validated, you finish, and then you graduate from the program, you can work alone with high torque, with pressures, with high bars, pressure, uh, power tools. It's okay. Pneumatic tools is all right. You can. But now you need to stay away. You can watch, but unless there is your body mentor or your senior or other high level mechanics working with you, and then they're watching you using their high torque, it's all right, no problem. But you cannot operate them yourself. For
For
4 years. You're dead. 4 years. Can you drive? Can you drive or can you operate the unit? Yeah,
Not yet.
of course. Not forever. Because you're not operator. You can sit beside the operator. You can. Yeah, sometimes they might probably ask you, okay, can you just accompany and then you navigate, help them navigate. Um, yeah, you can sit beside the driver in the cabin. It's okay. You can help them. Apply again to be enough. And you will see view, multi-view on the dashboards. Front view will be the monitor, rear view, the back will be monitored on the dashboard. So you can see the function of the panels on the dashboard when you sit with the operator. I know that you cannot operate or drive the units yet, but at least you understand what the function in the panels. You know how to do what is this? The dashboard says, okay, oh, this is the oil notification, or this is the fuel notification. This is calling notification, so you must know all of these dashboards. Why? Because when it's broken, it will be your job. When there's a notification, the bar signals out, the oil just comes up, you must know that. Yeah, and then you can remind them, okay, the fuel warning is on, or the oil warning is on. Tell them to stop, and then let them make the report to the supervisor until the supervisors, and then later, when you go to the workshop, you say, "Oh, this is the unit I've been with the other operator before in time," and then they will be your turn to work this until it's being fixed. They will be your job to fix the oil, fuel system. That's all your job. What units have you learned? Anything you learn from different units. What are they? Whether it's about engine or transmission or I don't know, whatever. What unit? PC. Still general. Pitch when we okay, gears. You know, gear. Okay, in gears, driving gears, idle gears, all kinds of gears. It has certain calculation and certain depths. So it should be this long, this height, or this deep, or half of this, or only small. It has different function. So the pitch is the distance between one gear tooth to the other gear tooth. Okay, gear tooth one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. They are the gear tooth. And pitch can also be meant as one bolt, the next bolt. So the distance is pitch. It's different when you're at a workshop and then it tells you, okay, you go to the pit. It's different. Pit, pitch. Right. So what is pit? What is pit? It's the working field. You know, the working field is the pit, open pit. So it's a wide open area when we're doing the field that we were doing the operation, or we're doing the mining operation. That's the pit, the open pit. Pitch is different. Yeah. Profile, tolerance. So there's the term tolerance and also clearance. Don't misplace between clearance and also tolerance. Tolerance, when you're talking about the temperature, Henfeld, the heat tolerance, it means the highest or the maximum temperature this device can hold and working fine. But if it exceeds more than the maximum, what happened? It will explode. It will off damage. Yeah. So the tolerance is the length or the range between zero until the maximum. That's the tolerance. So when you're working on the tolerance or you're using the unit or device in tolerance, it means you're not using it until maximum level. So it's below maximum. Make sure you're doing that. Why? Because if it exceeds the maximum level, it will explode. What is the tolerance of speed on the road in Grand City? 40 kilometers per hour. It means you cannot exceed 40 kilometers. If you go 60 kilometers, now it means you're exceeding 20 kilometers per hour. This is wrong. What will happen later? Maybe accidents. Right? What is the tolerance of people in the elevator? 11, 12. And then if there are 16 people, you're exceeding the maximum level. So it's no, it's out of the tolerance. It cannot be tolerated, right? So the clearance is the tolerance, but it's more like distance. The space, small, tiny space in piston, for example, where it still can move smoothly. When it doesn't have a clearance, the piston cannot move. It will stick. So the clearance is the distance. So the distance should be like maybe 0.01 millimeters. So it will be very small space. Yeah. If it doesn't have a space like this, it doesn't have a space, so it will stick. But when I lose this a little bit, just a little bit, it has space, so you can. Right. Oh, you like that. Okay, tell me some parts that has clearance. What are they? Beside piston, what are they?
Timing. Deal with water pump.
That's right. Yes. In what was that? Vein pump. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has a clearance in the gear. What else?
For
For
we filler gate.
Bushing. Crankshaft. It can spin. Shaft. The drive shaft. It also has clearance. It needs to lock a little bit, but still loose, right? Because it has a space, so it can still move. It can spin. If it's too tight, no, it's stuck, lock, cannot spin. So that's the importance of clearance. This one is tolerance. Don't misplace it. So which one is pen? Which one is Dremel? Which one is drafting board? Which one is T-square? Which one is the ruler? A is the pen. B is the D. This is the ruler. Ruler. Drafting board or T square. T square. This is square means siku. T square at 90 degrees square. Like this. This is 90 degrees. Example, mechanical pencils are used to provide lines of the thickness without sharpening in technical drawing writing because it uses ink. There are several scales for the tip ujungnya, range from 0.1 millimeter, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 6, 7, 8. If you know civil technicians, they're using that. It's called rapido pen. Scale from 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. They're making detailed drawing on drafting boards. But because of technology, no one really uses using Corel Draw. Yeah, it's very precise. Precision is good. Better. No more using this. Some maybe still use this one. Because working with this is like art. It's like painting, you know. Can you paint using application? Yes. Now people can paint using application. They have the smart pen working in a tab with application, so easily can just draw faces, panorama. Right? But can you feel the art that you become a painter? No. A real painter is working on a canvas with oil and brush, real brush, not application. So classic people, uh, they work conventionally because it's the real art. They're still using this. This one is more expensive. You go buy painting from application, maybe it's worth only 5,000. Using a printer, print it out, 5,000. You're paying for the color printer only and the paper. But when you go to the painter, small painting, it will cost maybe 2 million. Yeah, because the artistic value, he spend time working with oil, brush, and paint. He's doing it maybe in 2, 3, 4 days. Right? But in application, less than 1 hour, finish. Yeah. So that's why this is more expensive. Working using human, you or as mechanics, is more expensive. because it has artistic value using your hands. You can imagine if they like all machinery, your job will be replaced by a machine. So you're not going to be hired anymore as technician. The company will never need you anymore because there will be machine working on tightening the bolt, loosening the bolt, taking removing the engine, taking off all the small component. They don't need you anymore. But the price is cheaper. Yeah, because you can do tens or maybe hundreds of different units quickly, even at night, even 24 hours, without eating, without drinking, because they're a machine. You can visit one company, automotive manufacturer, that they're working 24 hours, making bolts, making screws, making dashboards, making body, 24 hours, but in different section. This section, and then go to that section, go to that section, work 24 hours. But the machine, they don't need food. They don't eat, they don't drink. You can imagine if you work 24 hours every day, but no eating, no drinking, no sleeping, no, 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 no pressure release. Can you do that? Nobody. That's why with human it's more expensive to pay. But again, in machinery, it's also expensive, but in investing the provision to make them exist, in the company, it needs really, really big money. But then when they're already there, when they're doing the operation, it's only cost the electricity only. Maybe not even fuel using. No, only electricity. But working human needs electricity, need foods, need nasi kuning today, tomorrow. Oh, you haven't opened that one. Come on, share it everyone. Open to share everyone. So as a viewer see, so this guy's name is Ali. He's one of the most wonderful Tunisian in the program. He has the initiative of bringing fries. What are they? Tell everyone, Ali. What are they? What do you have there? All right, donuts. So with messes or sugar powder, or with messes. Okay, what are they? So they're not fries, not donating. That one, the green ones. What are the green ones there? Show the camera here. Show the camera. What's that? Gel brownies. They're not brownies. They're greenies. They're green. They're greenies. Muffin. Green muffin with cheese. Okay.
Which is this is the
I don't know. I'm alright. So yeah, you can put it. So all the viewers of my YouTube channel, I happen to once again relaxing to with the trainees here. We're having the training. So things and terminologies and some disciplines on later on they're going to read the sub manual and they know exactly how to say the compartments, parts, small parts, big parts, when working on the units or the engines. So this training will cost them more attention on how to fix their vocabulary, pronunciation, and also the discipline after the presentation later on, and to understand what their job should be done accordingly. Right? We're using the procedures, international procedures that it should be understood by all of the members and technicians, mechanics as well. This is more sociable, doing easy socializing the material. There's good sitting down on the floor. So yeah, we're having all these joints are all together the same. Um, Simple in simplicity. Well, another thing again, actually, because the building needs really bigger power. We're going to have more power cuts if we still insist to be in the classroom upstairs. The classroom is just big enough. Yeah, I suppose it's almost close in there. So someone needs to fix it.
What?
Press board
Rest.
to the side. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you so much. Well, 10 o'clock, like usual. They're about to have the break. And after this, I'm going to end the stream so either they can watch themselves and you can, I don't know, you know my channel. So you guys also were in the office, you have a break, just go visit and share the link. If you're thinking about, all right, these big companies, why all the trainers need to sit down on the floor? Well, I'm anti-mainstream. These classes training also one of the parts being anti-mainstream. Right? If you're so mainstream means that you probably go in a class with strong AC and then you enjoy the class. But this one is more enjoyable. Togetherness, we all in the same level. Oh, see you there. Wait, wait. Right. Everyone?
Good.
All right.
Subscribe.
10 o'clock. We have a break. We'll see you again later. I'll see you, everyone.
Subscribe.
Then. Cheers. Open your mouth, everyone, so everyone will see. There we go. Yeah, that one's Ari. Ipul, Ari. Check this. Ari. That was Jai, Yoga, Akbar, and maybe like this. Risky. All right. This is Risky, Akbar, Yoga, Jai. Hits a little bit over there. Ari,
Yes.
Saipul, Ari. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you everyone.